like to play. I like to play anybody.
But I mean, you have some rivalries are better than others. This one seems to be pretty even, and you've kind of taken it over the last few years.
I think it heated up when we played them 9,000 times in the playoffs. Or what stretch was that, Bruce?
07. I think it was the first, the 16 overtimes.
Yeah, we had 3 overtimes, 2 overtimes. Then we came back here the next year, another 3 overtimes.
Yep. That always helps.
Yeah, there was a lot of those.
But it's usually clean, good, fast hockey. And,
Yeah.
you know, the way it should
Good
be
team to
played.
play, yeah. They're always skilled. Good skilled team. Good power play. You guys wait for Matt or something? Or what? Usually Matt asks. Are you playing Matt today? Are you starting?
No, is Matt not here? Oh,
John
He's
just
out
kinda
there.
sees them. Matt's out of the lineup right now, so John sees
Next
the
man
moment.
up.
Yeah. It's actually impressive if you think about it. Stepped up.
Somebody can start. We're going to have to wait.
But I mean, you have a great relationship with North Dakota and the Gophers and all that, but this one seems to be also, they're all different. And this one is different in a good way.
Yeah, I would say that, the two that, aside from, North Dakota, Denver's grown, and these guys. Probably a lot of it has to do with playing them in the playoffs. Seeing them a number of times during the year. Those always heat up the intensity of the games, and obviously the stakes are higher in the playoffs, but and they're our travel partners, so we always see them 4 times a year. This year we might see them 5, counting the North Star Cup. So
You didn't give many secrets for Miami, did you?
no, Miami did they're getting better, and they played them. It's like our league. CC's getting better. Everybody's getting better, and anybody can beat anybody. And I think you'll see 2 teams that probably weren't happy with the way the weekends went last weekend, and who knows what you'll see.
Right.
What do you tell the team after a weekend like that, going into the St. Cloud weekend? What's the message, overall message?
Well, again, if you're going to let one weekend define your season, then we're in trouble. If we've done a lot of good things, we've got a good group, keep believing in what we're doing, believe in each other, and you'll be fine. And the response we have to have this weekend is, to play with that. I won't say desperation, but that emotion. I didn't think we had a lot of emotion and intensity in that series. And I don't want to take anything away from what CC did. They played hard. They were hungrier. They were a hungrier team than we were, and that's a big reason why they got 4 of the 6 points.
Just watching the tail end of practice there, are you happy, at least in practice, with the pushback, the emotion this week of the guys?
Yeah, we thought we had a good week before we played Colorado too, and their intensity was good, but I think the focus might be a little bit sharper. Sometimes when you have a weekend like that, it's a little good dose of reality, but again, it happens, and you're going to have speed bumps, you're going to have adversity, and my curiosity is how we're going to get through it. Much like when we rose to number 1 early in the year, how are we going to deal with it? So we got to deal with it the right way, and you go out and play the game the right way, and worry about playing 60 minutes and not worrying about winning every game. You got to play the game the right way to win, and we're going to have to do that against obviously a very good St. Cloud team.
They've had one of the more struggling starts to the season that they've had in a while.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter?
No. They've got good players, and early in the year they might, their biggest question mark was like ours was goaltending, and they were rotating goalies, but got a lot of skill. They're dangerous on the power play, dangerous offensively, and you got to play good defensively. You got to play disciplined. We can't. We've done a pretty good job against them over the last couple of years, and why we've probably won is because we've stayed out of the box for the most part. Even when we played them earlier this year, I wasn't happy with giving them 10 power plays. It's too many for them, and certainly on that big rink, but discipline is certainly a key for playing that team. They don't take a lot of penalties, so they play the game and should be entertaining.
Penalty kill was a real bright spot against Colorado College. You feel like those guys just keep getting better and better every time they go out there, and it seems like they learn from their mistakes real well.
Well, yeah,
Don't make that same mistake a second time.
Well, I think everyone looks at numbers, we look at what our guys are doing, and I think I've said all year, I think our penalty kill's been pretty good, except for a couple weekends that have skewed the numbers. So I think those guys have done a good job. I'd like to see us continue to, block shots, do some little things better, but those guys have taken a lot of pride in it, and obviously this weekend I thought it was huge, especially both nights when Avery, had the 5 and Willie had the 5 and we're killing, and they score early Friday, and our guys did a good job in the next 4.5 minutes to keep it a 1-goal game. Certainly the same thing on Saturday with the third period, and having to kill off that when you're trying to get back in the game, and our guys did a good job. So they've come up big. Our goaltenders played good. But again, I think a key is staying out of the box, and those are our first 2 majors, so I'm not going to get too rattled about it, but we've stressed a lot of the discipline part again. I think we're getting better. I'm not going to look at those 2, but that's important going down the stretch too, to stay disciplined and try and not take a lot of penalties.
The composure that the PK showed after giving up that early goal in the first major, is that kind of the sign of a veteran team?
I think they've had that all year. I do. I mean, you're going to miss certain things. There's going to be little detailed things. It might be a stick position. It might be not a clear out. Whatever. There's going to be things that happen on a penalty kill that you're not going to be perfect all the time. But I like the way our guys battle. I really do. I think. They're sticking with the structure that we're trying to play, and I think that's helped. I think we've kind of settled on something that we like, that we can do maybe some different things with, and the guys have bought in and done a good job with that, and I think that's why you're seeing it hopefully continue to get better.
The penalty kill, how big is that? Even a marginal improvement in face-off percentage. You get the puck out on a face-off win, and your guys make it very difficult a lot of times to get it back in.
Yeah, I think our neutral zone has been good as far as that part of it, but it's huge. Again, talk about face-offs every week. The importance of them, whether it's special teams, 5-on-5, but it's puck possession, and there's nothing worse than when you're on a power play, you got to go chase the puck 200 feet because you lose a face-off, and our guys have done a good job. They've bared down, and we've gotten some pucks out, and that's helped the PK.
How often do you work on pulling the goalie?
We'll work on it periodically during the week. I wouldn't say every week. We did some this week with off face-offs, and
just work out when you need to score one?
No, I think it's always good reminders. I think sometimes it's funny. You can sit and think you have all the plays, but usually the goals are scored off broken plays or recoveries or shots or deflections, and again, it's. I think the biggest part is again recoveries and making sure when there are loose pucks that you're getting a number of guys on it and know where to put the puck so you can start all over again. But you got a couple plays, but it always seems like it's off a broken play or a deflection or something. But we do work on it.
Without Willie on Friday, what do you expect from Nick or Jared, and then some changed pairings?
Well, I know those guys will be ready. It's been tough. They've worked hard. I mean, it's been tough to get certain guys in because our core has been good, and we're kind of tinkering around with the pairings right now. I mean, you might probably see Kotz back with Neil, and whether we want to probably have Danny with Seuss, but you'll see probably a variety depending on how the game's going. But we've kind of tried to practice it since we've known about it. So we'll see. You might see a multiple of pairings, which is fine.
So I know you have rules on what you can say about recruits, but you can talk about other teams' recruits.
I don't know.
That Mankato recruit up at Hermantown played pretty well last night.
Yeah, actually he did. He'd probably write that. He likes to hear that because I don't usually tell him that very much. It's a good win.
Put a couple in.
That was a good feisty game at the end too. It's good. Had a good seat. I was right in the corner.
That's good.
It was like an old Iron Range game right there.
He scored one right in front of you.
Huh?
He scored one right in front of you.
Yeah, I think he saw me and the theatrics stopped, but
Hall of Fame weekend approaching. Any memories of Junior?
Yeah, you know what? He was a special kid and a special player. I mean, obviously, I always joke with him. He's the only redheaded French Canadian I know, but just a quality kid. Obviously, went through a big scare before his senior year there too, and with that whole incident in Lake Superior where he almost drowned, and to come back and have that kind of year. But he was growing. He grew as a player. Worked hard on his skating from his freshman year to the end. He was always a goal scorer. But just a real good teammate, hard worker. He was really one of our last top pure goal scorers, I think. But it'll be exciting. He texted me in his broken English yesterday to say he's coming, and it'd be funny if you guys read it because some of the words are spelled wrong. But just a great kid, and he loves coming back to Duluth. Loves this area, and I think his parents are coming as well, so it'll be nice to have him back for a weekend.
Do you think the fall to third in the nation provides a little bit more motivation than usual to try to come away with some confidence?
You have to ask the players. It doesn't change any motivation for me. You know what? Whether you're 1, 3, 20, you gotta be prepared to play, and it shouldn't change anything.
Do you care more about the #1 rating when you're trying to achieve it than when you're trying to defend it?
No, I don't really. I don't. You know what? Good thing for us that it was there for so long. I don't think it really mattered anymore. You know, it didn't. It's nice to see it there, but I didn't. Don't get even talk about polls. They don't mean anything. I like where we are in the standings right now. That's where I want to stay.
Scott Bobnotsko, what's kind of been his reputation among the college coaches, and your thoughts on what he did leading the U.S. to a gold medal?
Well, I think he did a great job. I mean, they put together a team of mostly college players, which I like, and you know, those guys, obviously, a lot of those kids have played together, but I think him and his staff did a great job. It's not an easy place to beat Canada and Canada twice, but they did a great job, and played the way they want to play the way his teams play. You know, good offensively, good on the special teams, especially the power play, and we're going to do a little something for them on Friday. Bob and Jack Ashawn and Joey, and actually Matt Chapman was their video guy who's with St. Cloud too, so we'll do a little something before the game, I think, to recognize them, so I think that's pretty cool.
Bob, what do you think that's made him so successful, not just with the junior team, but at St. Cloud over all these years?
I don't know. Recruits good players, just like we all do. Knows what kind of player he wants, and they always have good skill. They always have good power plays, and some of it's they have, whether they're big or small. They've got good skilled players.